Hello and welcome to the 2025 Oregon TV Bowling Tournament on OCA Media. I'm Jeff Husong along with my partner here, John Jortlin, and we'll be bringing you all of tonight's action here at the Oregon Bowl. First off, we're going to do introductions. First off, starting qualifying in the 5 spot for the handicap side is Steve Schultz. The 4 seed for the handicap side is Gordy Haberman. Sorry, Gordy Haberman. The 3 seed in the handicap tournament is Rob Gannon. Jeff Bira is not here. He's coming late from work. He is the 2 seed. You will see him in action later. And the 1 seed is Kurt Anderson. And then introducing the scratch side of the tournament, we have the 5 seed Mark Everett. We have the 4 seed Tom Franklin. I am the 3 seed Jeff Husong. We have the 2 seed Joe Mabbitt. And we have the 1 seed Brian Hoffman. So as we get going this year, we just want to say thank you to our TV tournament sponsors, All Color Powder Coating, Redina Real Estate, Counter Space, Rob Gannon, Oregon Bowl, Kelsch Machine Corp, Deeks Pub and Grill, Glacier Trail Financial Planners, Bankers Life, Zimbrick Inc., Headquarters Bar and Grill, JL Richards Prime Meats and Deli, Ticey, and Oregon Pizza Pit. They make this tournament possible. A lot of those guys sponsor our teams every single year. So thank you to them. And we'll get rolling here in just a minute. So these guys will get going with their warm-ups. You know, John, this year has been a really good year. Some of these guys had great qualifying averages. You know, to qualify in each of these tournaments, these guys bowled across 4 weeks. You were part of this a couple of years ago, last year and the year before.
Yeah, I was.
Tell me how tough it is to qualify for this tournament.
It is. You have 5 weeks to get 4 scores in, and there's no throwing out the low score if you get all 5 weeks in. And, again, there's some really good bowlers out here, especially in the scratch side. You look at these guys, some of them bowl on the same team, and I tell you, they're made for this shot that they have here in this house.
Yeah, it can be tough. Some of these handicap qualifiers bowled well above their average to qualify for this. You know, if you look at the 1 seed, Kurt Anderson averaged a 209, which is really good for the handicap side. That he just missed the scratch tournament by about probably 10 pins to qualify for the 5 spot. So he bowled really well during the qualifying, and he's the 1 seed of the handicap. And then you got, so this year is a lot different from last year. If you watched last year, all 5 of these guys on the handicap side are completely new.
Yeah.
So,
well, when I was here, I don't remember Kurt bowling when I was here, so he is a new bowler here in this league. So.
Yep. Hey, just a quick minute, Steve. Do you want to make sure to put in your handicap is 29, and Gordy's handicap is 59.
A difference of 30 pins there.
Yep. So Steve is giving Gordy 30 pins off the bat. You know, but Steve currently carries an average of, let's see here. He's got a current average of 199. So Steve is a very seasoned bowler. He's got a good average, throws a good shot. So we'll see what he can do to make up that 30 pins out the gate.
Yeah, I've snuck down here a few times this year to watch you guys bowl, and he's been throwing the ball very well.
Yep. He has his nights where it's just nothing can stop him. If he's putting them in there, he's hard to beat. So, and then as we go to the scratch side, as we come up later, the 1 seed Brian Hoffman had an unbelievable 240 average across 4 weeks.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, he just got hot during tournament qualifying, and there was no looking back. He beat the 2nd place qualifier by an average of 15 pins. So he won the competition last year for the scratch side. So it's going to be tough for the bowlers to beat him. But he's going to be watching and waiting in the wings, kind of analyzing and seeing what's going on, and then we'll just kind of go from there and see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, on that scratch side, it's going to be whoever makes the fewest mistakes.
Yeah, it's tough. I bowled in it last year, and you know, it was one of those things of you have that one bad frame where you throw an errant ball and the other player takes advantage, and there's no looking back.
Yep.
And that's kind of what scratch bowling's about. You don't want the other bowler to bowl bad. You want to beat the other bowler.
Right.
So, and I think last year's match, the final ended up being about 231 to about 255. So, and that's good scratch bowling. Yep. All right, a little technical difficulties there, but we got it cleaned up. Gordy's going to be up here first on lane 3. He opted to go first as the better seed. He's going to come up quick here and see what Gordy's got starting off here. Oh, that looks like a pretty left ball. He's throwing the Black Widow. That ball hooks quite a bit when you throw it a little slower.
Yeah.
You throw it Brooklyn side. He's got a 10 pin to shoot at, and I know Gordy. That's his Achilles heel over here. So, all right, we got it figured out over here. All right, so Gordy's up on lane 3, shooting at the 10 pin. As he throws it down, that ball is a tough one to throw at the 10 pin at that speed.
Yeah, it just hooks away from it.
Yep. So it's one of those. Then we got Steve Schultz up here on lane 4. Let's see how he comes into this match. Ooh, he slung that one a little wide.
Yes, it did.
You know, if you get it out there enough on a wide angle, it's not going to come back. So.
Looks like a different ball that he's normally thrown that I've seen down here.
Yeah, he's got a couple up there, but you know, and this is a 210. This is not an easy pickup. So, especially for a right-handed guy, he's going to come across at it and he'll just take the one. So we got. You know, I just want to say thanks again to all of our sponsors here for the TV tournament. These guys keep this tournament going year after year after year. This tournament's been going for 30-plus years. So, and we got Steve Schultz coming on lane 3 for his second frame.
That looks a little better.
That looks a little better. Just a little late on the drive for the bowling ball. Leaves a solid 10. You know, in the past, Steve's pretty decent at the.
Gordy's up on 4 already. He's
not
wasting any time.
Gordy said he didn't want to wait, so they're getting ready to bowl. Ooh, and Steve threw one wide.
Gordy picks up the 610.
And Gordy picks up that spare on the right side there. As long as it's not just the 10 pin, he really struggles with that one because his speed is a little down. So, but Gordy came out of nowhere during qualifying. He's up on lane 3 here. Let's see what he can do to follow up that spare. Ooh, that came in really hot.
The dreaded 4-6 split.
You know, that's probably a 1% spare, John.
Yes, that is one of the most difficult spares in bowling right there.
Yeah, you have to nudge it just enough to slide it over, but not heavy enough to slide it behind. So it's a tough one, especially for anybody that's right or left-handed. So hopefully Gordy can just capitalize and get the one and help his score out a little, and he does. So right now we're coming into the third frame for Steve. Steve is he's working on 2 open, so he's got to get something going here, or he's going to have a tough time.
And there's a light mixer for Steve.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, a light mixer.
A light mixer for Schultz. He's rocking a strike in frame 3. He's up on lane 3 here. Let's see if he can follow that up with a double. He's got to do a little bit to come back here. Ooh, he slung that one a little bit.
And
Oh!
he brings the 2-pin forward.
He got the 2-pin from behind on a light mixer again. So Schultz gets a bit of a break there. So he's coming in. He's coming into frame 4 on a double. He needed that one for sure. Oh, Gordy. Gordy ended up throwing a gutter. And since we did have technical difficulties, the handicaps are not correct in there. Currently, Gordy's handicap is 59 and Steve's is 29. So we'll take a look at the. Oh!
Picks up the old Brooklyn spare there.
Yeah, Gordy, chunked one in the gutter, let it go a little early. Gets the lucky break going, Brooklyn. But so Gordy, if you look at the regular score, Gordy adds 59 pins to his score. So currently in the third frame, Gordy is sitting at a 95. In the third frame, Schultz is on a double as Gordy comes up to lane 3 here. Oh man, Gordy is having a tough time keeping it on the right side.
He is, yes.
So he's got to be a little worried about this one. This one is a classic chop for a right-hander, and that's where you pick off the 3-pin and leave the other one sitting there. So you just got to be careful of that. Hopefully, he's coming up on the 5th frame here. So this is kind of we got to get going if you want to get winning.
And there's a good spare.
There we go. So Gordy is on 54 in the 4th. Schultz is on a double in the 3rd. He's coming up on lane 4 going into the 5th frame here. That is a good looking ball.
Yes, that was.
So if you watch that one, Schultz threw that one a little further inside with less arc to the outside, and it came in nice, cleared up the 10-pin. So,
yes, a nice tighter line there.
Yeah, that's a pretty typical shot for Steve in league. So maybe it was just the technical difficulties that got him in the beginning. So we'll see what he can do. He's on 3 in a row here going into the 6th on lane 3.
And again, a nice shot.
And there he is. It looks like he kind of picked his spot, moved inside a little, and it's looking like it's going down a lot better for him. So no 10 pins left for Steve. And we got Gordy coming up on lane 4 here, working on a spare.
And he carries the light hit. Maybe he's going to start warming up now.
Hey, Gordy finally, he kept it to the right side a little there, got a light strike. So he's got a little bit of a comeback. I'm trying to figure out math-wise because the handicaps are opposite.
Yeah, they're backwards up there.
They're backwards up there because we had those technical difficulties. So we'll have to figure that out at the end.
Oh, you almost carried another light hit.
Yep.
Light hits carry pretty good in this house. If you can get that light hit to carry, it gives you a little more confidence on throwing that tighter line. Because if you do happen to leak it out a little bit.
Yeah, when it sneaks back in there and they all go down like dominoes, it looks a little funky, but you know what? Light is right. So
yep, it's still an X up on the scoreboard.
That's right. And Gordy's liking that 7-pin a little better than that 10-pin. So Gordy's coming up with, he's got 94 in the 6th, and we got Schultz working on a double in the 5th. Currently got 78 in the 4th. So Steve needs to beat Gordy scratch by 30 pins is essentially what it comes down to.
And another light hit there.
Steve is stringing him along. He is currently on 5 in a row. He's got 108 in the 5th. He's putting his ball inside a lot better, not leaving it outside to leave those nasty splits he had in the beginning. So it's looking pretty good right now for Steve. He's got a lot of momentum coming into frame 8 on lane 3. Ooh, looks like his release was a little wonky on that one. Like he didn't come through that ball at all. Yep, and when you don't come through the ball, it doesn't come back in. So he missed the head pin right and leaves a 7. So it's a little bit of a tricky pickup. If you hit it square on, you're going to miss that sleeper in the back. If you hit it too left or too right, it's kind of the same deal. So.
And a good job picking up that square with that sleeper in the back. It's easy to pick the 2 front ones and leave that sleeper.
Yeah, that was pretty much textbook like they tell you to pick it up. You want to get that one just on the head pin, just on the left, and it should carry the back 100% of the time. So Steve's got a pretty commanding lead right now.
Yeah, if my math is correct, he's up by about 30 pins right now.
Yep. So we got Gordy. Gordy finally finds his stroke again. He's slinging it to the right, coming in light, and it looks nice. So. Yeah, so currently we got 114 in the 7th to 155. Gordy gets 30 pins extra handicap, so right now it's looking like Gordy's down by about 11.
Ooh, that one walked in there nice. It's that stubborn 7 pin again.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It looked like the 4 pin just kind of fell straight back and didn't touch the 7 at all.
Would have helped Gordy's chances quite a bit there with the double going into the 10th.
Yeah, I mean, it may not look like it, but with handicap, so Gordy gets the extra 30. It's only about an 11-pin game, 11-pin match right now. So, man,
another easy spare for Gordy.
Yeah, the left side is a little bit easier for Gordy here. So, all right, let's see what Steve does coming into the final 2 frames here. We got Steve on lane 4 going into the 9th frame. Hopefully he can keep this, get back on his strike train here.
Yeah, it looks like a nice shot there. Comes up a little light, but it carried them all.
Yeah, he's got enough snap right at the end to get that 5 pin. That's the big thing. So. All right, close out Steve's game here. He's working on a strike in the 9th.
And there's a big double for him. That should just about do it. I think all he needs now is pin count, and that should put him.
Yeah,
put him in the win, because Gordy can only shoot. Let's see.
Yeah, Gordy's max score right now is a 184.
184.
And with handicap, that's a 214 extra on Steve. So it looks like Steve's gonna go ahead and beat that, just with some pin count here.
And there's a good ball there. It's solid in the pocket.
Yeah, man. So Steve, if you look, his last 9 shots, 8 of them have been strikes. So he kind of found his stroke, throwing it on the inside. He's been burying some good strikes in there, light and heavy. So that's the kind of fire that Steve can catch. So
yeah, kind of reminds me of Randy Clark about 3 years ago when he ran the table in that scratch division.
Yeah,
he got locked in and nobody could touch him.
Yep, nobody can touch him. So. And there he goes, finishing it off. That's a great score in the handicap division.
235.
235 scratch for Steve. He'll be moving on to the next match. He'll be bowling Rob Gannon, and Rob averaged a 205 in qualifying. He gets 31 pins handicap, so they'll basically be bowling straight up. As Gordy finishes here on lane 4. Oh, he gets the sneaky from behind 3 pin there. So.
solid strike there for Gordy, but it's a little bit too late. He had a rough start there, those first 4 frames.
Yeah, the first few frames were a little difficult, especially with that gutter in the 4th. That one was kind of the undoing, I guess.
Yeah.
But Steve also did string 5 in a row. So,
yes, he did.
So give a little credit to Steve because he really kind of found his shot in this match. And Gordy ends up finishing with a scratch 182, which is way above Gordy's average. Gordy currently averages a 163 in league, so he still bowled well.
Yes, he did.
Just Steve bowled better. So, and it's one of those when a guy catches fire, he's on fire, and there's not really much you can do about that. So, once again, I just want to thank OCA Media. OCA Media is your local community access television station. You watch local, entertaining, and informative programs like this exciting tournament on Charter and TDS Cable. Watch anytime on their YouTube channel or just go to ocamedia.com for any information that you need. OCA Media covers hundreds of events each year right here in Oregon. Oregon Community Access. Community is their middle name. So as these guys are getting ready for the scratch tournament, just a final rundown. Steve Schultz beats Gordy Haberman 235 to 182. Scratch with handicap, it would have been 235 to Gordy's 212. So it was a rocky start for both of them. They kind of both hit their stride in the end.
Yep. Well, when you throw 9 out of 12 strikes possible in a game, that's it's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, and when a 5 seed throws a 235 in a handicap tournament, that's going to be tough to beat anywhere you go.
Yep.
So, and I mean, that's just the kind of bowling that happens here in Oregon. You got a lot of guys who can bowl really well at any given moment. So,
all right. Well, welcome back. Looks like Mark Everett's going to start on lane 6. Mark is a legend here. He's known as Mr. Oregon Bowl. He's held the record here for a long time until it was beat out a few years ago by Brian Hoffman.
Yeah, with an 834. So Mark can turn it on. So he starts with a strike on lane 6. But his opponent, Tom Franklin, he has 5 300s in this house. His most recent one was last year. So Tom coming up on lane 5 here to start the match.
He's got a good game for this house, and he likes in light hits.
Yep,
I think we're going to see a lot of strikes in this scratch division.
And that's exactly how a scratch tournament should be.
It should be, yep.
Competitive, over 200, bowlers bowling well. And these guys are both fairly consistent, especially with their first ball. So it's we could see some really high scores in this first match here.
Nice straight up the boards and a gradual finish. And there was a tough, solid 9-pin.
Yeah, solid 9-pin. His ball cut a little too hard right at the end, but that's just a tough break for any right-handed bowler. It's one of those you don't want to see because it looks pretty, and then you got one left standing. And
should be an easy spare for a caliber bowler as he is.
That is
a little jinx on him there.
Yeah, that is unlike Tom. Tom is a very, very good single pin spare bowler. So he leaves an open in the second, and we got Mark Everett coming up on lane 5 in the second frame here, working on a strike. So Mark is actually bowling with a wrist injury today, and
Another nice solid strike there.
Yeah, and he said he wanted to bowl, and so and here he is, and he's thrown 2 in a row. He's working on a double, throwing the inside line, coming in nice right at the end. So Mark's working on 2 in a row, going into frame 3 up here on lane 6. And remember, this is the scratch division, so it's whoever wins wins. There's no handicap added to either score, so. Oof.
Starts out with 3-bagger there.
Just from the way Mark's throwing it, he is hitting that line and just burying strikes. I mean, all 3 of those were solid as can be. I think he was a little worried about the 10-pin there, but We got Tom coming up here on lane 5 in the third. He's throwing it a little. Oh, he's throwing it a little bit outside, and it's just catching just a little too much right at the end.
Yep.
And the 4-9, that's a tough one for a right-hander to get because you got to hit it on the left side of the 4-pin to swing it over.
Oh, he had a chance.
Oh, he had a chance
there,
at it.
yep.
He had a chance at it. So right now, Tom comes into the 4th frame with 37 after the 3rd, and Mark's working on 3 in a row. So Tom's got to get some things going here.
He definitely needs to get something going. Yep.
So. All right, he's out a little wide again. I think he was, I don't know, it looked like he might have been a little nervous about throwing another one of those 4-9s. So he stepped out a little wide. He's got the 2-pin. This should be an easy spare. Hopefully it gets his game going and ready to go here. All right, Tom's back on the board with a spare in the 4th. And we got Mark coming in the 4th frame on lane 5, working on 3 in a row. Let's see what he's got here. And he's still throwing that inside shot.
Yeah, that walks in there really nice.
Yeah,
That's a really good line.
He knew that right when he threw it too. You know, it's one of those, when he figures it out, he's the tough guy to beat. So
I've watched him bowl in the past, and it's like he's throwing it a little bit slower, and I think that might be because of that injury that he's got. Hopefully his wrist holds up.
Yeah, it's. All right, he's coming up on lane 6 here, working on 4 in a row.
Yeah, he pulled that one just a little bit and almost got lucky there.
He knew it too. He gets pretty animated with his body language. He knew that one was a little high. He got a little lucky leaving just the 2 on the left here. So currently Mark's at 88 after the 3rd. So his 4 in a row really helped him out to start off hot.
And pretty routine spare for Mark there.
Yep, covers that one pretty easy. So Mark's coming up on 108 in the 4th. Right now we got Tom Franklin working on a spare. He's got to get some strikes here to catch up, and hopefully he can avoid those 4-9s and those little highs that he's getting here. That looks like
there's a good ball.
Yep. That one was right on the money, right when it left his hand. So
vintage Tom there.
Yeah, he throws that line all day, every day, and when it goes, it looks good and perfect, just like that.
This is a huge ball for him now. He needs to string some strikes.
Yep. He's down by about 40 right now. There we go.
There you go. He looks a little more relaxed now.
Yep.
I think that he got the frustration out.
Yeah. There we go. So Tom's coming up on 2 in a row going into the 7th, and Mark's working on a spare in the 5th. Right now, Tom's down about 30 or 40-ish. Ooh, Mark.
And there's the sleeper there.
Yep, that's a tough one.
3-9. Yep.
You hit that one a little left or a little right, and you're gonna miss that back pin. A little grace though is the right-handers, they hook into the back pin a little bit, but if he misses it left, it's gone. So we'll see what Mark can do here to pick up that back sleeper. Uh-oh, he did exactly what I said. Yeah, he missed them both.
Yeah.
So we got an opening here for Tom Franklin. Mark just opened in the 6th. He's got 134. He's going into the 7th on an open, and Tom's starting to figure it out and find those strikes. So he's got 2 in a row going into the 7th. So right now, there's a little bit of a window here.
Yep, there's a window. Mark's got to come back and at least get a mark here so it doesn't get away from him. There was a good ball.
And there he goes. Yeah, that was the same line he threw those first 4 balls. So I don't know. He decided to take a night off on those other 2 frames, I guess.
That could be. But when the guy gets like Tommy, you don't want to take too much time off.
You give Tom an opening, he's going to take advantage of it. So Oh, no. If you watch it, he throws it a little bit outside and it just catches a little extra.
Catches a little early.
Yep, and slides right at the end, right into the. So that's a tough one.
He's one of the quickest bowlers I've ever seen, too. If he leaves the fair up there, he gets right up there and
well, you know,
goes.
He's such a good bowler. His average is second highest in the league. You know, right now he's averaging a 216 across the league. So
he got that one wide again, but that one he threw a little harder.
Yeah, that one looked a lot better. It went in right into the pocket, threw a little harder. So, but yeah, Tom's got the second highest average in the league. So he's a very consistent bowler, very good bowler. So he's working on 125 in the 7th. Mark's working on a strike in the 7th here on lane 5. Oh.
Yeah, there's a big double there for Mark.
Yeah, and he got the little leg sweep on that one with the 10 pin. I thought that was going to be a solid because it was coming in a little late there, but he carries the 10 pin and, you know, working on a double going into the 9th.
Mark has a possible 254 if he goes off the sheet.
Yep, and Tom's looking at a 215.
Yep. So Mark's in pretty good control here, as long as he stays clean.
He's got to stay clean.
Got that one a little wide.
Yep.
Now he's got the one pin there.
Nah, he's got a sleeper back there. So, but this one's a little easier for a right-hander because you come across it versus having to swing out into it. So
still easy to pick that front one off.
It is very easy. So especially the type of hook that Mark throws, if he slings it and comes across that front pin, he's gonna miss the back one. So here comes up on lane 6. It looks like that one's got a decent chance. There we go.
You got that one.
There we go. His ball finished the hook into the back pin there. So we got, you know, Mark's got about at least a 30-pin lead, depending on what Tom does going into the 9th here. He needs this strike desperately here. So. Oh, that is a tough break.
Yep, he got that one in a little bit, and he threw it a little bit harder. It just didn't have the drive on the back end.
Yeah, he threw that one in, and you know the messenger pin kind of slung through both of them, and that's just a tough break, 5-7. So that
pretty much shut
that's
the door.
pretty much going to close the door for Tom. That was a tough leave.
30 pins, 83 ice already.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom is closed out. So Mark Everett will be your winner in the first match of the scratch tournament. We'll kind of close this one out as we go. I just want to say thanks again to all of our tournament sponsors: All Color Powder Coating, Redina Real Estate, Counter Space, Rob Gannon, Oregon Bowl, Kelch Machine Corp, Deeks Pub and Grill, Glacier Trail Financial Planners, Bankers Life, Zimbrick Inc., Headquarters Bar and Grill, J.L. Richards, Ticey, and Oregon Pizza Pit. Those guys keep this tournament going year after year after year. And just another big thanks to OCA Media for putting this on for us. They do a great job every year. So
yeah, I follow them on Facebook. They're fun. They're a fun group. They take care of a lot of stuff in the Oregon community.
Yep, and you know, anybody watching, subscribe to their YouTube channel. You can watch the full edited version of this tournament. You know, as the handicap guys get ready to go and ready to warm up, as Mark, you know, Mark's already got the win, but he just kind of threw a gutter, and he knew it right when he threw it. He just looked like he dropped it. So
that might have been his idea of a victory lap, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. You know, Tom Franklin finishes the day with a bit of a disappointing 173. He had some tough breaks there.
199 to 173.
Yep.
The final here.
Yep. So it's you know, it's one of those. They had a couple of tough frames there, both of them. You know, Mark got it going early, and Tom just could never catch up, and then he got a couple of bad breaks at the end. And once that happens, it's really tough to come back from.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So these guys are gonna get ready for the second handicap match, and it's gonna be Rob Gannon versus the previous winner of the 4-5 match, Steve Schultz. So those guys will be warming up, getting ready to go. And we just want to say a big thanks again to OCA Media They got local original programming that provides the residents of the Village of Oregon with informative and entertaining programs. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. You can watch anything past and present, anything that they've done with their media. Yeah, they do a good job supporting the local community. So as these guys are warming up on lane 3 and 4, I'll have to say thanks, John. It's been a pleasure. I got to go get ready for match 3.
So, yep. Good luck to you.
So I'll be coming up in the scratch match, and so John will kind of be on his own for a little bit here.
Unless you can find somebody that's willing to sit next to me. Maybe the loser of that last match.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Maybe Tommy will come in.
I'll see what I can do. You can try to talk people into it, but all right. So I got to go get warmed up, and thank you guys, and it's been a pleasure.
Okay, it looks like we're back. And looks like Rob Gannon is going to start on lane 3. Steve Schultz gets 2 pins from Rob in this match. And Rob comes a little bit high, leaves the 4 pin. And he goes cross lane, and an easy pickup for Rob. Now we have Steve Schultz up on lane 4. See if he still has that hot hand from that first game. He had 9 strikes that first game. And he carries the first one. Nice light hit. Steve's up on lane 3. And another solid strike for Steve.
After my humiliating loss, I thought I could John here. And it's good to see you, John.
Yeah.
Not on
You had a. I was hoping to watch more of you bowling there.
Little rough. Little rough.
And a nice solid strike for Rob. This could be a good match. Rob throws a good ball.
And they're buddies from way back, so this is, Rob actually gave Steve the Reno nickname. So
okay,
there you have it. Steve's kind of rocking a newer ball this year, and it took him a little while to get it going, but in the last couple of weeks as his teammate, you can see it.
A little high, solid 9 pin there. Should be an easy spare. I kind of jinxed you when you left your 9 pin. I said that should be an easy spare.
I was just waiting for that.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was still the holy crap, I left that. That's amazing. It is what it is. We all leave them.
Yep, we do.
You just got to cover your marks. That's all it is. And that's what I should have done. So Steve working on a double here.
Yep. Lane 4. Nice tight line there. Should be a good looking shot. He was a soft 10 there. Just didn't quite get up.
Steve had what, 235 first game?
235, 236, something.
Nice.
Yeah. Very, very nice game.
Yeah. And no problem with the 10.
Yep.
I'll tell you, Rob's been bowling really well in the league this year. Just, you got to answer for him. He's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
I know the nights I've been down here watching, they scored well. Okay, up on lane 3 now. And a nice light hit, first strike. Just carrying that light hit. He's about 50-50 on those light hits there.
No, I shouldn't say it, but that's you know, that's the Carolina shot. That's what we call it here.
Carries that light one, he gets that solid one. He gets a good combination there to have. It's Rob Gannon up on lane 4. Man, nice one there.
Yep. I like Rob gets a little animated sometimes. It's beautiful.
That's good. It makes it fun.
Yeah. Yep. He had hip surgery a while back and he couldn't do that, but now it looks like they're all like working on all
good.
cylinders. Yeah.
Man, nice solid strike there on lane 3.
It's good match here.
It is a good match, yeah.
What is the pin differential?
Steve is getting 2 pins.
Steve's getting pins.
Yep. Steve is
Okay.
getting
Do
2
I
pins.
look shocked? Okay.
Ooh, we got
Oh,
that one
dig,
wide and
dig.
fast. Yeah,
Okay.
that was.
All right.
That one didn't have a chance to come back.
No, he took the 10 out. Could have been worse.
The 1-2-4 he's got sitting there.
He's got to dig a little. Oh, the hard way.
Yeah, it came a little high. Didn't think that pin was going to take it out.
It's all right.
There's a big spare there for him.
Seems to not be liking lane 4 at this point.
No.
Other than that, this is
a tight
This is a
match.
really good match.
It
I like
is.
this. You didn't like it from
Yeah, he
Brooklyn.
Pulled that one. The dreaded 5-pin.
Well, you know, when you get in some of these tight matches and you only bowl Thursday night,
It gets
you going
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit.
You got a little money on the line.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think he's going to bounce back here. He's going to take a deep breath, throw a nice spare at this, and
It is the 5-pin, right?
yes,
It's not the 9. It's the 5. Yeah, oh boy.
Rob can put a lot of pressure on him now if he can get another strike here and have a turkey up there. Throwing the ball very well. Takes no
It
time.
looked like he pulled that
Yeah.
one quite a bit.
He looked away. He almost lucked out and got a Brooklyn there, but he's got the 10-pin sitting there.
Bowling with Rob, I know that he is not a huge fan of the 10-pin. I'm just saying. So we'll see what happens here.
Spares are huge. You want to keep your games clean in format like this. And
I swear that's a plastic ball. I swear that he actually
went out and bought a spare ball.
did something. He should.
Yep. It's a big spare for him.
Yep.
You can see a little fist pump there when he picked it up.
Yeah. Oh no, he keeps track.
Yep.
He keeps track.
Wasting no time up on lane 3. You got that one wide.
Dig.
Yeah,
Okay. He was excited about that 10-pin.
I think so. You got a little adrenaline pump there.
There you go. There you go. Right. Steve just had this and actually converted awkwardly.
Yep. There's 2 ways to do it. You can.
That's kind of how it looks.
Yep. You can throw a strike ball at it, and you might leave a 4-pin like that, or you can go Brooklyn at it and let the ball take out all
Which
3.
is, yeah. You prefer the Brooklyn?
I prefer the Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Steve on lane 4. Much better shot there.
That ball carried a little bit.
Yeah, that one went down the lane a little.
Yeah,
It
that looked
the
like
oil
a-
might be carrying down a little bit more.
Okay. It looked like once it got to the break point, thought about it. And that's where you end up with the bucket or something like this.
Yep. He's got 3/4 of a bucket there.
Yeah, is that what they call it?
Well, I don't know, but
So, okay. I figured maybe KFC had a.
tough spare with that sleeper back there.
I think he's got it.
I think he does too. That's pretty solid.
Yep, nice. That's a nice, nice spare there. Those aren't easy to pick up. Yeah, this is pretty
one
close.
pin game right now, but Steve's got a spare up. Rob has that open. Steve can put a lot of pressure on him here with a strike.
I think he liked that one. He did not.
Nope. It's just not
from
finishing.
this angle. It's hard to see, but
the lanes have changed a little bit.
yep. Yep, you basically couldn't ask for a tighter match
Closer
here at
match.
this point.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, he almost chopped it. It was a huge spare there.
Yep, he was staring it down. I don't think he liked it when it left his hand, but he got her.
See if Rob can bounce back after that missed spare.
Oh, I like it.
Oh,
Flat 10.
flat 10.
Again, we might see a fist pump if he uses what it is, a blue ball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of you. He wastes no time getting up there.
That is a plastic ball.
Yep.
Yeah. He finally learned, didn't he?
Yep.
Because he would just miss it by an inch or two. But that's a good buy.
It is.
It is.
Well worth the money if you can pick
Yep.
him up.
Now he's not. I don't think he's going to keep track of his 10 pins anymore.
Okay, Rob needs a strike here to get back in this match and put some pressure on.
Oh, he was fist pumping, kind
He
of.
was.
Little slow, kind
A
of.
little slow. I think he threw it where he wanted to, but
Yep.
a little slow.
Yep.
Dread
Gotcha.
4-9.
That yeah, that kind of gives the old opening here, unless I don't know. Well, he's not going to throw a spare ball at it, and it's going to just take out the 4.
Okay, Rob has a possible 192.
Steve strikes here, and it's kind of an even match going out, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have this camera in my way. Oh, there you go.
A high flush
Yes.
strike there. That was a
It
huge
took out
ball.
the 4-9. Yes. That is,
Steve pretty much has this in control now.
yep. Foundation frame, they call that, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and
All he needs is pin
mark.
counts. Yeah.
Yeah. Just one mark probably will do it. All right, ring and 10.
This could be interesting here.
Yeah, Rob's got a possible, what, 92?
92. And if he misses
If
this,
that's just it. And he did.
he did.
That's
Rob can strike out for 192.
92.
Steve gets 2.
He needs
He
a double.
strikes out. He can.
He needs a double.
Yes.
But how
No.
many pins?
92.
Yeah.
He has to strike out to tie.
Yeah, because he's giving.
And there's the first one.
And like I said, the animation could get a little better here.
Yep.
But yes, I keep forgetting about the 2 pins.
Yes.
It's in
Steve
there. That's
gets-
huge.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all kind of quiet here because.
And he got another one.
It did. It did. Fist pump and all. Wow. He gets this. What an answer. So, do we know what happens on
No,
on
with
a tie here?
with the handicap that they got up there, it looks like Rob is going to win, but isn't it 2 pins?
See, I swear, yeah, but I swear it's the other way around. That's why. And, yeah, he needed double. And I think he
By 1
just
pin.
lost was that, yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
They got robbed by. Where is the sheet with the handicap?
I'm trying to figure out the handicap. 'Cause
It's
no
down
one-
there. Okay, we're back for our next match on the scratch side. We have Mark Everett, who won his first match against Tommy Franklin, against Jeff Husong, our number 4 seed. And Jeff's going to start out on lane 5. Very good bowler. He can throw a lot of strikes and he can pick up spares. He's one of the best spare shooters I've ever seen. Throws the ball very hard at his spares. And there's a nice swisher strike to start out the match. And Mark Everett up on lane 6. Got that one out there a little wide. That thing came back.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a different line.
Different than what he was throwing against you.
Yeah, it was that tight line in there, about 15 board.
Yep.
That was a workable deal. That's
There's-
more right there.
Yep. Back in there. It's a little light, but it carried.
There,
Very-
yep. Yep. Mark said a little inside, but I thought that was kind of the right shot.
Yep. Okay, we got Jeff up on lane 6 now. Nice solid strike there.
Down and in,
Yep.
or tied up at double apiece.
He takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. He just picks a nice tight line, throws it nice and firm.
Which you got to hit your spot.
Yep.
I mean, there's no room for error when you kind of do that. That one had a little more hand in it.
Yeah, he pulled that one a
Yeah.
little bit, yeah. 4-6-9.
A little slower, too.
It was a little bit slower.
Yeah. Well, take the pin count here.
Yep.
Unless you think you can.
There's a lot of game left. You definitely
Oh,
want to
yes.
take the pin
Just
count.
take the 2 pins. You never know what's going to happen at the end of this. Oh, sit.
Oh, he gave it a try.
Yeah, he did.
Here we got Mark Everett coming up on lane 6, working on a double. There's that tight line again. A little too tight that time.
Yep. Oh, I don't know if that's a break or not. I don't know.
Yeah, Jeff said he's got it coming in with a sore wrist, so hopefully get enough speed on it.
He didn't bowl last week because if I looked at his wrist and it looked like it was broken. He tried bowling on Wednesday night and he said he had a 141 and stopped.
Oh, yeah,
so
it was hurting him then.
Yeah.
Like, see, he's got a different ball there, a little harder surface.
Yep. I don't know. He
Gave
looks like a man on a mission.
Yeah, he gave
you
a
know
little wave
I mean?
at that 10 pin.
It's I don't know. I've seen weirder things. I'm sorry.
Okay, up on lane 5. After that nice 10-pin spare, see if we can get back on line again.
That's a good ball.
That's a good ball. Nice tight line. There we go. 10 in the pit.
Yep.
I'm not used to seeing him throw it that slow.
Yeah. He's another dude that kind of, it's actually bending. He usually throws a little more of a rocket, like 12 board.
Yep.
And
Jeff on lane 6. Much better ball there.
there you go. You know what's everything that's kind of we've seen on 5 and 6 tonight. This could be pretty interesting by the end of it. I'm just saying.
Well, on both here. A good shot can leave some bad leaves once in a while. And on lane 5, here comes Jeff working on a strike.
Straight up 10.
And
That's
10
perfect.
In the pit.
Yep, that's perfect ball right there. He appreciated that shot. I think it was a good ball. It was right from the beginning. It looked good.
Okay, Mark now working on a strike. Trying to keep the pressure on.
He's gotten it outside and got away with it.
Yep.
And that kicked the 8 out nicely.
He's
There's some room.
He's got a little area.
He's got
a little area now to build his confidence.
Well, my partner John likes to call it area. I like to call it the black hole here. You know, it's nice to have that.
It is.
It is, because if you lose it a little wide, she comes back. That's Brooklyn.
Yeah, he walked away right away.
And he's left the 3-9 before.
Yep. And he missed it on this side the first game.
Oh, both of them. Yeah, he went right by both of them, didn't he? Yeah. So they both have a double working into after the 5th, and then we'll see.
Big spare for him.
Yeah. Well, he learned from this, and he was going to keep it to the right. You knew that. You knew that. So that's big opening for Jeff right there. Mark still has, what, 245 possible. I mean, he's 125 in the 6th, not so shabby. But Jeff can put some hurt on here if he gets one here.
Put some pressure on. He got that a little outside, but it came back for that nice light hit.
We like to call that the Myrtle Beach Oregon Bowl shot. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
So that turns the complexion a little bit. That's a little catch-up.
Oh, yeah. Another strike here is going to really take this matchup.
Yep. I think that's a pretty good one.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. A little slower than normal. Came off his hand, a little hook, you know, but good ball. It was right there. So 4 bigger for Jeff, and Mark trying to make up for the 6th frame here.
Yep. Mark's got to get it going again. And that doesn't help. That's
kind of.
That gray board just does not hook.
Yeah. Just kind of seems, you know, if somebody puts a little pressure on him, he overthinks it instead of just throwing it.
Yeah, you tighten up a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just, you know. It's, there's a lot between the ears here, you know. And of course he's going to throw that tight, and that's going to come in high because you don't want to do what you just did.
Yeah, that's a possible 191. And the way Jeff is going, I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, Jeff's pretty darn good.
Pretty solid.
Yep.
That's a much better shot.
And it's a ring in 10. He's kind of checked out, I think, at this point.
Yeah. I kind of read his lips when he came back. He said, "Don't tell me there's a 10 pin there."
Yeah, I saw that.
So Jeff can pretty much shut this out with a strike here. Oh, a little high. Less than 9 pin. Yeah. You're going to see a little extra speed on this.
Yeah, it was. I think there was a little excitement in the air there.
On this spare shot, you're going to see a little extra speed. I know he throws his spare ball a little harder than he does his first one.
You think you just throw a strike ball here, but
nicely done.
Yep. He's gonna have to show me how to do that.
He's a very good spare shooter.
Yep. You taught me that you're supposed to cover your spares. You know, no matter how many 10 pins you leave, you gotta cover.
You gotta cover them.
You know, it's the difference between 610 and 690.
90% of the game.
Yeah. There's a nice one. That did not come in. Did you see that?
Yeah, a little flat there. Didn't come around that ball quite as much as he did on the other ones.
So
spares are getting a little harder for him.
Well, the bucket's not, you know, you got to throw a small strike there in that pocket.
Got to get it high enough to carry that back one out. He's going
right at it.
Yeah, right down the middle.
It stayed there.
Yep,
stayed there. I thought that might move a little bit to the left on him, but it stayed right there. Let's see, Mark can salvage 200.
Salvage 200. That would put a little bit of pressure.
Yes, it would.
It would force Jeff to mark.
And I've seen weirder things. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like kind of done here.
Yeah.
Jeff's going to need like 2 pins to tie if Mark was to cover this and go off the sheet.
Nice spare there with that sleeper back there.
Yep. The hard way. Seems like maybe the wrist is catching up to him, like it's falling off his hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now he's just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, he started out like gangbusters, I'll tell you that.
166. Yep, it's over already. So Jeff will just be going through the motions, just finish this out.
Well, it's always good to,
It's always good to finish strong.
be up
He's
and
gonna
maybe
have to
or
sit a
try
game.
something
Yep.
a little different.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? But sitting a game is
Sitting a game.
it is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, he's really consistent. So,
He is.
and the next match, he's got Joe Mabbitt. Joe can come at you with 279 or 200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's we'll see, but
There's the 6'10" there. This is a good match until the 6th frame.
yeah, and you also got to look at it. Some years we have this. It's so far it seems like the handicap people would have kicked a little booty on the scratch side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I was
Nice game.
and 218 to 166. So Jeff Husong will move on, and he will face Joe Mabbitt in our next match on the scratch side.
Yep.
And it looks like there'll be a little break here while the handicap guys get set up.
That should be interesting. There's going to be some pins involved in this one.
Yes.
It's going to be some pins. Mr. Barra is a fellow USPS guy,
Oh, okay.
as we are. He's a rule carrier here in Oregon. Got about a year left, and he's going to retire. And it's good to see him get in this tournament. I think it's the first time ever, which, usually there's some nerves.
Yeah, there's some new
involved in
faces.
this.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
new faces. And
Yeah.
It looks like Rob Gannon is going to start. He'll be on lane 3. Looks like Jeff Barra is going to be getting 38 pins total. And Rob sent the first one wide. He left the 210. Sitting between games, he kind of tightened up a little bit, I think. Being as this is the first frame, I'm sure he'll give this a try. Just got to hit it on the left side of that 2-pin and kick it over to the 10. And he did it. Oh, very nice spare. Okay, here's Jeff Barra. First time ever in this tournament, from what I understand. And he crosses over, leaves the 5-pin. Handicap does wonders in bowling. It makes it fair for everybody. Everybody has a chance. And right down the middle, easy spare for Jeff. Jeff was late getting here. He had to deliver mail today here in Oregon, the mail carrier. And a little high, 4-7. And pretty routine spare. Okay, Rob coming up on lane 4 after that beautiful split pickup in the first frame. Got it outside. Nice shot there for Rob. Nice little hand slap there.
Got to catch me up, John. I had to.
Rob picked up a beautiful split there in the first frame. He left with 210.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he didn't think he picked it up. I know there was
I heard the applause.
yes.
I heard the applause. So we figured out what the pin differential is in this game.
Yes. Ooh, 10 pin. It was 38, I believe.
I knew there'd be some pins involved in this, and Jeff has started out strong with 2 spares.
Yep.
If he keeps clean,
Yep. Handicap makes it fair for everybody. Everybody has a chance.
Exactly. And here's Rob with his aqua colored ball, I think, but he's happy with that buy.
He's
He is.
really got his mind in this game. He's pumped up.
This is the second time I think he told me that he's made this tournament.
There's a 10 pin for Jeff.
And again, Jeff has talked to me about the 10 pin issue. And he throws good balls and leaves light 10s, you know, flat 10s. And once in a while he struggles to, we all do, once in a while. Well, you don't.
Cross lane.
But see, this is, he doesn't have a plastic ball. He's throwing his regular ball and it comes. And he was, I tried to let him know that, you know, the lighter you hit it, that 10 pin's going to get out of there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it makes spares a little easier.
Here's Jeff now up on lane 3.
Oh, he put a little hand in that one. Oh, okay. All right.
Got out of the,
all
got
right.
out of the
Kick
split.
that 10.
Yep, kicked the 10 out.
That's nice.
4-7. He picked that up earlier.
It's on the left side.
It's a lot easier than that 10
Yes,
pin.
yes. I agree with you 100%. Jeff's one of those guys, you don't hear complaints from him very often.
No, he's pretty quiet guy.
He likes to come and bowl, and he converts. He keeps marking. That's fine.
Okay, Rob now is coming up on lane 4.
Rob's going to have to get a double or 2 in here with that 38 pin.
I
There
heard
you
him
go.
holler hook, and it did. It's solid there.
Looks like he's got lane 4 kind of working for him there, and then we'll see here on 3. Left to split the first one, 10 pin in the third frame.
Yep.
So
See if he can figure out lane 3 here.
sometimes we do have a difference in lanes.
Oh, yeah.
It happens everywhere.
It looks like a pretty good
He
shot.
likes it. Oh,
Yep.
when
Big
I
double
talked
there
about
for
animation, here it is.
Yeah.
He makes it to the championship match, I think we might see him jump. Just saying.
As long as he doesn't hurt himself. Okay, Jeff Bear now coming up on lane 4. With that double, Jeff's going to have to throw a few strikes now.
That's a slider. Oh,
Crossover,
okay.
he's at the 6-10.
All right.
A little easier spare than just the 10.
I agree. I mean, 38 pins is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
So he is, like I said, as long as Jeff tries to stay clean,
There's a good
and
spare.
no problem with that.
Yep.
And in the back of Rob's mind, you know he's thinking 38 pins.
Yeah. Somewhere along the line, he's going to have to throw a double, especially the way Rob's throwing the ball right now.
I agree. I agree. I don't know if he likes it or not. Oh, that's right through the nose.
Yep. 3, 6, 9, 10. Tough spare to pick up.
Yeah.
Got that sleeper back there.
On a spare, you like to get a few more pins than 6.
Right.
You know, everything counts
Pin
at this
count,
point,
yep,
especially
every pin
you know,
counts.
in a handicap match, especially.
Oh, and he got him.
Got it. That's a hard spare.
There it is, a hard spare.
I don't care what anyone says. That's. I've seen the likes of you and Hoffman miss that.
Oh yeah, many times.
But his is on the other side because he's left-handed.
Okay, so here comes Rob Bannon now up on lane 4, working on a double. Can really put some distance between them now. Get a turn.
Oh, boy. That's a heck of a pin count.
Yep.
That rode one board for a while.
I don't know how that one stayed on the lane.
Either. I'm not sure he does. But that stops the strike brigade. But he should be able to handle the. Yep, he will. So he's clean with that split conversion in the first. He's clean through 6. That's hard. That's hard to hang with.
Yep. Looks like Jeff has a 9-pin lead through 6 frames. So Rob has really cut into that handicap. You got that one a little wide. That one ran high on him.
It seems, doesn't it seem like he's basically a little like he's aiming, like he's throwing it a little slower? That's why it's coming up higher.
You get late in the game, it tightens up a little bit because you know you got a guy throwing spares against you. You want to get them that extra strike to make up those extra pins.
That was smooth right there. Yeah. Nice cover.
Nice spare for him. Hey, Jeff's still looking for a strike.
Yep. He needs one here.
He does.
Just saying, yeah. He
does.
gets himself at 100 in the 6th.
It's a pretty even match right now.
Yep. But if he gets a strike here and gets himself 100, he's down 27 going in. A double would really help the cause.
Yes. Yep. He's got to make up those pins that Rob got back.
I think that's a much better ball.
White and 8-pin.
8-pin. That light shot like that sometimes carries here.
Yep.
You know, it's the 7-pin that's the last one standing. Now needs to cover this.
Yep, he's been doing very well on his spares. The only spare he's missed is the 10-pin.
That's fine right there.
Right on it.
Yep, it's almost a dead even match at this point.
Yep, Jeff is up by 10. Yep.
Yeah, both have a mark.
Yep, both have a mark.
So basically, this is a kind of a clean game kind of going right here.
Yep. Whoever doesn't make a mistake from here on in. Right down the middle, a little high.
He converted this once.
Yep.
This is a hard spare, I'm
It
telling
is. It's always tough too when you're bowling in this. If you get 8 or less pins on the first ball, you lose pin count. You want to get it's hard to lose pin count and win a match.
Well, you know, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is his. Come on.
Okay, chopped the 2
ouch.
up.
Ouch.
That was a big open there.
I mean, your first time doing this when you have a bunch of people watching, you know, that doesn't help matters. I think he's done pretty well.
Yeah.
Through this
And you know, he came from work. He was late for the announcements.
Yep. That's the post office, buddy.
Yep. And there's a light hit for Rob.
Yeah.
Another fist pump. He's feeling it.
I think he smells blood in the water.
Yeah.
I think he does.
Jeff
Jeff has a possible 83. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And Rob's got
Well, that's
147.
that's without his handicap.
Without his handicap, right.
A strike here will put a lot of
That
pressure
had
on it. And there's a 4-pin.
it had a little authority.
Yep.
He had a little hand in that one. I don't know. You know, Jeff was to throw a sneaky double in here or
Sneaky
something.
double.
This all different.
Yeah.
Rob's got some confidence. You can see it.
Yeah.
After that 7 count, still in the last game.
I think that split pickup in the first frame pumped him up pretty good too.
Yep.
Okay, this is a big ball for Jeff now.
Yep. I'd say, yeah. Foundation
definitely,
frame.
Yeah, he definitely needs
Needs
to.
a strike here, and I think he's got a shot at it.
And there
And
it
he
is.
does.
His first strike of the game.
The 5-7.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
I agree. And now
So a
he.
6-pin difference.
That's another one here.
He could another
Like I said,
another
the-
strike or two here. It could put a lot of pressure on Rob.
Exactly. Complexion of the game changes. That's what's so fun about this.
Yep.
Somebody can be in complete control, and all of a sudden the wheels fall off, you know. He had some confidence. He threw that.
And
oh,
there it is.
my gosh.
We have
It's
a
like
game.
he was toying with us. Yep, he actually came back and talked to Rob a little bit there.
Yep.
He's nervous, you can tell, because he asked if he was still up on the same lane in the 10th.
Yep.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It is.
There you go. He's releasing it nicely.
Yep. That one. Yep. A little light.
Yep. That's all right. He did what he had to do. Now you just want to get 1 or 2 of these. I think that might have kind of put the kibosh.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Where are we at?
Rob can still shoot 258 if he strikes out.
What?
With his handicap, will be 258.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I got you.
And Jeff finishes with 239. So Rob needs basically a spare and a good count.
Okay.
A little high, left 4-pin.
Yep.
He needs to pick this up. Actually, yes, he needs to pick this up.
I was confused. I thought
And
that
I
I thought that Jeff
No, I
was
think he
getting
needed, no, he
38.
needed to strike.
I thought Jeff was getting 38.
Yep. Jeff just won that game. A strike
That's what
is gonna,
But
Rob
see,
needed
and he
needed
thought
a strike.
that's where I was confused. I'm like, this, yeah, okay. 38 pins. That's a lot.
Yep, it is.
Jeff did exactly what he had to do. He doubled at the right
Doubled
time.
at the right time.
Yep.
And Jeff Vera ends up winning that game by 2 pins, 239 to 237.
Yeah. That's okay. That's where I was like, I'm lost. I'll just. not
I was
say
trying to do the
anything.
math too. It's like-
Yeah. It is what it is. But Jeff, first appearance. That's awesome.
Yep, he's gonna be moving on. They keep taking our sheet away from us. Okay, we're back with the semifinal match between Jeff Husong and Joe Mabbitt. This ought to be a really good match.
Should be a good match. I appreciate that they're both kind of wearing Detroit colors. This is nice. I appreciate that. One's a little more navy, but
Looks like Joe Mabbitt's going to start off. on lane 5. Deep breath. First ball is always the hardest. Handles it nicely.
Oh.
Oh.
And we're talking animation. I think we might get
Animation times 2 there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's all right. That's what we love about Joe. He gets excited, loves bowling. I mean, he eats and breathes bowling. He does.
This is gonna be a really good match.
I'm looking forward to this one because I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be able to pick.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
2 different styles.
There's a good answer.
Yep.
There's a good answer. He did all that with a pen in his pocket.
Yep.
So
I think this next shot's going to be solid in the pocket now instead of that.
Yeah, a little light thing?
Yeah, that pen just threw him off a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
so. We're not talking Myrtle Beach ball here. We're talking
right, we're
10 in the pit.
10 in the pit.
Okay. I like it.
There it is. Nice solid shot.
Yep. And I seem to think this might be the most animated group we're going to have here. Because Hoffman's pretty laid back.
Yeah,
he doesn't get too excited about things, but he's over there warming up on 1. That's what the pros do.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, here's Joe Mabbitt now on lane 6. Came around that very nice.
Oh, you got, there you go. How does a 5-pin stand on that in the first place? That was odd. Even the pin count wasn't right because it shouldn't have been there in the first place, but
yeah,
he's throwing it hard.
You think so?
I do.
He's probably a little jacked up right now.
Okay. I like this. This is a good match here.
Yep. We're gonna see a lot of strikes now in these last 2 matches.
I take offense to that.
Well,
it's okay. I deserve it.
You got off to a slow start.
Oh, get out of here. Yeah. That was a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like I told you, he seems like he's holding it tight. He's throwing it hard.
Yep. You get a little jacked up. You get a little quick to the line.
Yeah,
yep.
you know, you get up there and you both got 2 strikes. You're ready to go, and that's the fun part of this.
After just carrying that light hit and the 5-pin falling forward, and then you get up there and
try to put them all in the pit.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, sit. And there you go.
Very nice spare.
Yep. He just seems like he's on a mission.
Yep.
So again, Jeff is rolling with a double, and you got to wonder, you know, you throw another couple in here.
Put a lot of pressure.
That's my point.
Very nice ball there.
Yep.
That's what you like to do. Guy gives you an opening, you got to jump on it.
Well, that's
especially in the scratch.
Again, I'm not taking offense to that, but I appreciate that. Jeff bowls Wednesdays and Thursdays here.
Okay, so he knows the lanes very well.
Yeah. That's a little tight.
That's tuck too.
Okay,
yeah.
He got the 7 out of there. So.
And here's where that pin count comes in, because that 8 count and that 7 count. You know,
I got you.
Gives Joe the advantage again.
And if you notice, it's the same ball Joe basically threw, kind of pumped up, held onto it too long instead of letting it come off your hand. Uh-oh. Okay. Yep. To me, on my angle, it looked like it was going to come in hard and leave this 6-10.
basically right now Joe has a 1-pin lead. See if he can get back on the strikes. Much better toss.
Yep. That's that light hit that I thought he was going to jump over the return to get to the other side. He just, once he gets going, he's very formidable. I mean, it just, he's in his zone. You know, it's, I don't know how else to
I just
explain
read
it.
his lips there, and he said he wasn't comfortable. So I think the nerves are there.
Oh. He's been in this before.
He has, but it's.
This. I like it. And it was light.
Yep.
Started 2 in
2, 8,
or
10. That one just did not finish.
I
don't
liked it when it went.
I don't think he came around it like he has the others.
Okay, it came over the top.
Come over the
Didn't
top.
stay behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll buy that.
Probably just
Needs to get 2 of them. There you go. A lot of game left. Yeah, sometimes the bowlers will come over the top of the ball instead of staying behind it, and it doesn't have anything when it gets there. So when it hits the pocket, it is weak.
Yes.
It's not driving, it's bouncing.
Okay, after that, let's see if Jeff can take advantage of that now. And a nice little toss there.
Came out of the thumb nice.
Little light.
That usually carries here. It usually carries. I know he's thinking that.
Yeah.
He'd like to grab onto
But as
anything.
Good, yeah, but as good a spare shooter as he is, this should be routine.
Yep.
Not to jinx him or anything.
Really.
And nicely done.
Yep. Wow.
This is about the time of the games, too, that I've been watching where the lanes change a little bit and they don't finish quite as much as they did to start with. So it does transition. Let's see. Whoever can pick it up.
I like that one.
That is a little tighter line there.
Yep. Yep. A little tighter.
Let's see if
Yeah, it's
see if Joe can settle down here now and he said.
So far the inside shots have been working really well. I mean, Mark did it. I know Steve stays over there. That's really wide. That rode 4-board for a while.
Yeah.
But that tight line seems to, you know what I mean, keeping it inside seems to be carrying pretty well.
Seems to be carrying a little bit better, yes.
Yeah, than kind of getting her out, but.
Good spare. Let's see if he takes a deep breath here now and regroups.
Well, if he throws a strike or something, he's got plenty of room to the left to do a cartwheel or something.
I don't think he'll do a cartwheel.
Well, sometimes it gets
it'll be-
close. Sometimes it gets close.
But he needs to get back
yeah,
on track.
he needs to-
Okay,
that's
that is
tighter
a
line.
much better shot. Just a little high.
A little high.
Yep.
Is he talking to us?
I don't know. It could be.
Um,
But he did make a good adjustment there.
Yeah.
Just a little high, left the 4-pin.
Yep. And that's kind of, I think that's where it needs to be here, you know, just watching it. He's got that covered, no problem. All right.
Just still go off the sheet for 235.
Yep. No, there's plenty of game left.
there.
All it takes is one split, one, whiff on a spare.
Jeff can still go off for 266. So there's. Very nicely done there.
Looks like he's got a little confidence too.
Yep.
It's not like he's second guessing his shot or anything. He's getting the kick on the 10, but he's been here before.
Try to stay in the game. Don't get too amped up and make a big mistake.
Yep. It's got a
fight.
There you go.
Sat there pretty nice.
Yep, it sat there. That was a little, yeah.
The nice three-bagger there now for Jeff.
Yep, that's
stretches out his lead quite a bit.
Yeah.
Joe's got to have at least two or three here to really put some pressure on him.
I think he's got a double here too.
That was a nice ball. He
Yep,
almost left
it was 7-10. That's
yeah.
just like crazy. But yeah. It's odd. I have sympathy. I feel that. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, we've all been there, and
Yep.
that is not going to hang on.
And that's how that goes. So. All right. Well, the match we were hoping for, I think, is. Yeah. Joe's got a bowl twice. He said he didn't want to. So. Yeah. I understand the feeling. Jeff's been in pretty good command right now. Hit it. It's just, sometimes it just doesn't fall.
They just don't fall.
It just don't fall.
I mean, he started out really good. That split in the fifth frame really hurt. Just kind of took the wind out of him.
So he's at 266 possible here.
Yeah,
That's
just a mark here will close it out.
Yeah, but I'm thinking why take your foot off the gas?
Yep,
You know what I mean? You got Hoffman coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is going to be
interesting.
Yeah.
And as long as you keep you feel good about how you're throwing it. Don't let off now. You know what I mean? They have to wait another game.
Yes.
So you just want to keep what you got going. He's hitting a spot.
Yep.
I'd say dreaded 9-pin, but it really doesn't matter at this point.
No, this game is over.
No, what Jeff have last game? About 215 or so, or something around there. So he's got a pretty decent average going on right now.
He strikes here.
Yep, he's averaging roughly, 225 or so.
Yep.
And there you have it.
245 for Jeff Usong. Very good bowling.
Yep, that's kind of where the scratch should be.
Yep,
he's just not getting a break at all.
No.
He's not.
Jeff started out with that turkey, then he had the two spares, the fourth and the fifth, then he just caught fire again.
But like you said,
it was
the fifth frame for Joe didn't help because
that split.
That's basically when Jeff took off. You know what? And kind of you feel like you kind of got boogered there.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Joe can bowl. Joe can bowl.
Yep.
And this wasn't a good snapshot of what this guy can do.
Yeah.
He's a good bowler.
He is a good bowler. So there's the end of that match. Jeff Husong, 245, and Joe Mavitt with a 182. We're going to be getting ready here for our scratch match. They're going to get a couple frames on each. And I don't have the sheet, so I won't know what the pins are going to be. We have Jeff Barra and Kurt Anderson going up. It's like Jeff is going to start off on lane 3. And he starts off with a strike.
Took Jeff 9 frames to get that strike in the first one, but he's feeling it.
He started off big, and he's going to need to throw some strikes. Kurt can throw the ball very well.
Yep. 31 pins is the
31
is the number.
It's the number.
Okay.
Yep.
Kurt.
And that ball did not finish on form. He left the bucket.
This is Kurt's first appearance in this tournament, as is
Jeff.
Jeff, which is nice.
Yeah, and they're in the championship match. That's
isn't that awesome?
My knees would be shaking if it was my first time.
Well, and that's why it's pretty awesome that Jeff starts out with a strike.
Yep. And a nice spare there.
Yep. He didn't like it.
It's such an easy spare to chop. Okay, Kurt's going up on lane 3 now. Let's see if he makes a little adjustment because he came high.
That was right
nice
there.
Ball. Yep. That's what you call 10 in the pit. Nice solid strike.
Okay, we'll see if Jeff can answer after starting out with a strike.
Yeah.
See if he's got a little mojo going here,
Exactly. And
that's you don't call that 10 in the pit, you call that 4 on the deck.
Well, I always say the more pins you leave on the deck, the better chance you have of striking. And that was a good example of that.
I like that, John. I like that. That's starting out with a double is yeah.
That puts a lot of pressure on
A little fear of God there. That's awesome. Oh, you got a little tight on that.
He's playing Brooklyn, and he almost carried it. But there's that dreaded 10 pin that he had trouble with that first game. So let's see if he.
There's the irony.
He can pick that up, yeah.
There's the irony. It was a solid Brooklyn.
It was.
If there was such a thing,
and
there are.
There are.
And he could have kicked it out, but like I said, he fears this pin.
If he picks up a 10 pin, he's going to be really tough.
At least he's on the left side.
He's going more crossover.
There you go.
There you go.
That he even clapped after that.
Yep.
But he had room to stand over there, which helps. If that's on lane 4, little harder.
Yep.
A little harder.
Okay, let's see if Kurt can double up here now. He left the bucket on this lane the last time. And he almost did it again. This time it's the 210.
That ball bounced twice. Did you hear that?
It did bounce.
Yeah, so I don't know if it came off his hand. But that was light again.
Yeah, I have noticed that lane 4 is a little bit lighter than lane 3. It might be a little more carry down.
A little more carry down going there. Yeah, Jeff's got the old catbird C right now. That's a pretty good start. He slowed it down, but it's going to stay right there.
Stay there.
He just doesn't look comfortable. When he walks back, he looks like he's actually he's hurt or something. You know what I mean?
I think the nerves are just there.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, he's the one that has to make up that 31 pins. I mean, you come in to a championship match and you're down 31 pins right away. It's a in the back of your mind. There's a good shot right there.
Yeah, that rolled off his hand nice.
Yep.
Little light still.
Yep, a little light.
Little light still. Not being picky, I'm just saying is that he still hasn't gotten one to the pocket yet.
Here
Which
comes Jeff now up on lane 4. And there's the bucket plus the 7.
yeah, I was gonna say that's super. That's like a family KFC bucket.
There you go.
But
A couple extra
again,
chicken wings in there.
but again, it's on the left side, and
Which makes it easier.
Exactly, and
That sleeper in the back though always makes it hard.
Yep. But right now, you need to throw yourself a pocket hit.
A good high
Now,
strike shot.
you
yeah.
know, little pocket hit.
And that's not
Yeah,
going to
little light.
Yeah,
Oh,
they did.
you
The
got
Pins carried it.
Yes. The USPS man is rolling.
Yes,
right
he
now,
is.
he's rolling. So Jeff has 64 in the third with a mark in the fourth.
Yep, and here he is up on the third. It looks a little bit better. Hell yeah.
You know, I love to see it.
Yeah,
He's a good dude. Nothing against
Okay,
Kurt.
let's see if Kurt makes this adjustment now. He's been light twice now on this pair, or on this lane.
He was light on 3 also, so maybe he needs to move a little right. See, he looks hurt to me.
There's Brooklyn.
That's a Brooklyn. See, to me, he looks like he's not feeling very
that
well.
did not look good at all.
Yeah. And if he didn't think it before, he's showing it.
Yeah.
You know, but he just didn't look right when he was like he's too upright, like he's trying not to hurt his back.
He actually grimaced at.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, but see if he fights through this.
See, he's not
It's
even.
in his wrist, yeah.
Yeah, he's.
When I was down here watching before, I don't remember him having that wristband on.
No.
Does he normally
He
wear
may
it?
have, but he hasn't bowled the last few weeks because I think he was injured. I hate to say that, know.
He's not able to hang on to that ball.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Well.
You hate to see it in a
yeah,
championship
and
match,
you
but,
know,
he's gutting through it.
Yeah, well,
he still has a chance. I mean, there's always a chance. But when you got
he's
Jeff,
on fire.
Yeah, when you got Jeff throwing
he's
like
on
that
fire.
now,
No one can stop the mailman at this point. But you don't like to see you're competing against somebody who has a hard time even throwing the ball. You don't want.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
And there's the.
Yeah, you want to call
4,
that
6,
out?
7.
Thank you.
I wanted to make sure the 10 wasn't in there too.
Nope.
The little.
Sometimes it's hard to see here with the setup that we have, but they're coming at you from all angles. It's just, sometimes they're right in front of you. But he should just take the 2 pins and
Get the pin count.
Yep. I think he's got one of them. Yep.
Okay.
But it takes away from.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's feels bad for he's now beating up on a guy that can't throw the ball. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it kind of takes the competitive aspect out of it.
Kurt does have 3 strikes up there. I mean, if he
See,
can,
now
if he can get a few strikes here.
he throws a strong ball, and he's just limp
there he
wristing
carried,
it
yep,
down there.
he carried a light one there.
But he does normally throw a stronger ball.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've
just
seen
getting
him.
it off his wrist.
I've
He's
seen
getting it off
him
his
really
hand.
hook the ball. Yeah. He just does not have it in his wrist to
Well, it
throw
looked
the ball.
early on. It looked like he was kind of struggling, but now it's gotten worse since he's,
He gets through it. And he's trying to get through it. And it's like the
it would have been
5-9
interesting if he
down.
would have carried that and got a double.
It-
that would have been
it would've
really
tightened- yeah, it
interesting.
would've-
Yeah.
tightened up the game.
Yeah, he doesn't throw spares like that either.
No, and that,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, he's just going through the phases at this point.
and hoping to
Could
catch
have
a
gotten
break
away with
somewhere.
it. Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Well, he was sitting at the top, so he had the bowl one game, and I know what he's thinking. I may be able,
Got
be able
through
to
it for
get
the one
through
game,
it for
yeah.
one game, and now he's,
Yeah. And here's Jeff up on lane 4. Coming off a split. That's right down the middle. It's pointed to go Brooklyn.
Well, I think he's good on the 6. I think
the
the
6
10
pin.
is what he doesn't like.
Yeah.
I think
Although
he's
he
okay
did
on
pick one
there.
up. He picked one up
But
early.
not to take anything away from how, Jeff's bowling awesome.
He is. He's throwing a good ball,
Yes.
keeping the ball in play,
Yes.
limiting the mistakes.
Yep. And, honestly, even though Kurt's hurting, he's doing what he has to do to win the game,
Yeah.
So, but I know he's, would like something a little more competitive than this. Just saying. It's good to see Jeff bowling this well. Just my personal opinion. Just, he's
well over his average.
like I said, both of them are first time in, and it stinks for Kurt because it's his first time in, and as it is, there's cameras here, whatnot, and this is what people will see, and he doesn't want that.
There's the 2-6-7 split. This one actually isn't that hard. You just throw it at that 6 pin and let the ball kick the 3 over into the 7.
Sounds like something on PlayStation.
PlayStation might be easier, but it's not that tough of a split. It was close.
It's a good try.
Yep.
It's a good try. So you're saying on split accountability, that's one that most people should own?
That's one that the pros would pick up quite often.
Kind of like throwing at the 210
Yep.
or 310 or however, which side you're on.
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't have a wrist in it. He's just trying to throw it slow and put fingers in it.
And try
to get a...
Try to get the right line. And
Yep. I'm not sure if he ever wore that band or not, but all I know is that he can turn the ball.
Yeah, I don't remember
this is
him
weird.
ever wearing it, so.
Yeah. See, it's we've never had that happen ever, but he doesn't need to keep trying to prove
he doesn't
a point.
need to hurt it any more than
There
that.
you go. So
Jeff Bear is going to win this game.
But yeah,
Fortunately by default, because Kirk could no longer go
Well, the match was over anyway, so there's no sense of even.
Exactly.
Bowling
Even if
anymore.
Kurt would have struck out here at the end.
It's just too bad that's how that went for Kurt. Congratulations to
To Jeff Guerra.
yes, that's awesome.
Okay, we're getting ready to go here for our championship match between Brian Hoffman and Jeff Husong. Looks like Jeff is going to start off on lane 5.
This should be interesting nonetheless.
Yes.
We got a lefty and a righty. No one's thrown on the left side yet today.
That is right. Brian is our only left-handed bowler in this tournament.
That looks pretty darn good.
Nice high flush
Yep,
strike.
he's got the high flush working. He does. A little bit of confidence works.
Here's Brian Hoffman on lane 6. So smooth. Oh, that ran high for him.
I always say don't overthink it. He's going to take the high road, get 2 pins here. It's in the first frame. Shouldn't hurt too much.
He'll give it a shot. He'll throw it hard. Try to get it to bounce out.
Yep.
I don't think you'll see him throw that
Yep.
multicolor ball. I think he's going to change.
That's a new ball.
Yeah.
Just, we're trying to figure out, but you and I are fans of Barney, the purple ball
Yep.
that he throws. It works well in this house. Just a little late.
Finish, yeah.
A little late.
It's a rough start for Brian here, but there's a lot of game left.
I don't think I've ever seen him leave it, honestly.
Honestly, I don't
It's
believe
hard
I've
to
seen
leave.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to leave. But he'll find a shot here. He'll find a shot here.
Okay, Jeff Husong now up on lane 6, working on a strike.
And it is nice to be in that position where you've bowled a game or two on coming in.
Yes.
That is the best part of being not the number 1 seed.
Right.
It looked a little high.
A little high, yeah.
A little came
4
off his
pin.
hand a little, kind of pulled a little bit, but it is what it is. And like you said, great spare shooter. Shouldn't have a problem
Shouldn't
with this
have
one.
a problem with it, no.
But
Move to the
just
right,
thinking,
go across at
you
it.
throw a couple more strikes at it after the start that Brian had, and that,
Very nicely done there.
Yep.
Coming up on lane 5, working on a spare. I'm sure he really wants to throw a strike here to put a little pressure on Brian.
Well, it's ebb and flow, Just it's again, getting a little tight. It's getting a little tight.
There's a nice solid strike there.
Yep.
It's a line where
you don't.
Something bad could happen with that line.
But you'll carry most of them.
Yes, very, very much so.
But it can go from all in the pit to a 4-9 pretty quick.
I wasn't going to say it because I didn't want to bring that into play.
Thank you.
I went back to that other ball and there, drove right through, left the 8-pin.
Yep. Again, the equivalent of a 9-pin.
Yep. It's a very, very strong ball he's throwing.
Yes, but he's. I don't think he's going to give up on it. I really don't. Barney, the purple one, is his go-to for league, but like he said, he just started using this one, and
I know
he's comfortable enough with spares with it. He'll be okay with it. He'll be okay with it. But he needs to strike here.
He does. He's got to start throwing strikes.
He's got to set a tone.
Very capable.
He's got to set a tone. Otherwise,
he's very capable of going off the sheet from here on.
Oh, I agree. But you don't want Jeff thinking this is a little easier, not because he's a good bowler. You know what I mean? Brian's gonna find it.
And there
you go.
Yep. Hey, Joe will be coming up on lane 6 with a strike.
If you look up there, it looks pretty ugly for Brian, starting out with a split, 7 spare, 9 spare strike, but don't get me wrong, like you said, he's very capable of going off the sheet at this point. That's a good ball.
Yeah, just a little soft, 10 pin.
Okay. So if you throw something like that, a little slower speed might kick that 10 out a little bit. Is that how that works, John?
It might, yeah.
Okay.
There's other adjustments, maybe
a
little
left or
back,
right. Back, forward, left and right. He's like you said, spare shooter. There he is.
He is a good spare
solid,
shooter.
Very solid.
Working on a Dutch 200 after.
And again, as you look at it, apparently lane 6 is more of an issue than this one here. So
he just needs to make a small adjustment on 6.
Yep.
Lane 5, I think he's fine.
Yeah. No, we got that a little wide.
Yep. And there's the bucket.
Okay. All right. It almost seemed like he was trying to stay a little to the right. You know what I mean? Like maybe they were coming in too tight. I don't know. I liked how he was throwing the ball on this lane.
Yeah, I think he just got away from him.
Okay. Just off his hand. Awkward.
Yep.
We've seen our share. Oh, sit.
Spare.
Okay.
Yep,
I keep thinking that ball's going to break.
Okay, there's the big opening right there now.
Yep.
Two spares for Jeff. Now Brian needs to.
He runs a double here.
He
runs a double here. It's a game.
Yep.
He likes it off his hand.
Oh yeah. Very solid.
Yep. Not like Brian to go out and get a new ball for a TV tournament, is it?
Well, I know they're heading to nationals here.
I know.
And not too far future, and I know he wanted to get another ball.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Working on a double.
But like I said, once he
got
gets
that wide, but boy, that ball came back nice. Yep.
He loves how it reacts, and
yes, that ball is reacting very well.
I'd never second guess him. Never second guess him. But like you said, I could see him going off the sheet, but Jeff needs to double up here, just
Yep.
at least get the first one.
Pretty even game now.
Yep, get the first one.
That's where that pressure goes back onto the other guy. It was on Brian for a little bit, but now it's flip-flopped.
Well, I don't know if he ever feels pressure. Seriously.
I think if you ask him, he'd probably disagree with
That
There's a nice
was a
solid
great
shot.
ball.
Yep.
Yep.
If I can do the math here really quick.
I think the crowd just yelled, "Good job, Jeff," something like that.
246 possible for Jeff.
Yep. No, he's right there. He just, this is
And
back to where it should be. He
257 possible for Brian.
throws a strike here, and we got ourselves basically a 0 match. Starting all over. I like that one.
Very.
Oh, it came in. Oh, you got it. You got it.
It's trip 4-7.
Yep. It's. I thought he was talking four pin. Yeah. He agrees.
Okay, here comes Brian.
It's okay. You got to take the ones that.
Up on lane 6, working on a turkey. It's a little tight, but boy, that ball laid up there and read the lane nice. Boy, that.
He said he likes how it works.
Yep.
So he told us that before game time, and like I said, once he settled down and
It looks like he's got some area with that ball. Now
well, he's usually within a board where he wants to be, but the thing is that it's nice to have.
It's nice to have a little leeway. Okay, here he
yeah.
is now up on lane 5.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
I think he's
in the groove right now. And the pressure goes back on Jeff. Jeff cannot step off the gas right now.
No, he's facing a 5-bagger there, and he gets 2 more here. We got ourselves a pretty good finish.
And a little high, almost a 4-9. Got the break.
Can I say 9 pin? I just want to say 9 pin.
You can say 9 pin.
Now you go ahead and say how easy this is to pick up.
After I jinxed you the first game, yes, it is easy to pick up.
Oh, yeah, it's okay, bro. I still love you.
It's a good spare shooter, but that
he doesn't have many opens. It's got to be a split. He doesn't have many opens. But that's
and now to even stay in this match, he needs to strike here.
Yeah.
Because Brian can get up in the 9th and 10th and shut him out.
That's a
And
little
he pulled
tight.
that. It's going to go high, and it
oh,
sat
got
there.
it.
Yep.
He got it. Yeah. That's what he had to do. He had to get a mark there.
Yep.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yep. He can go off the sheet for 225. Brian is working on a.
Depending on,
Yeah. 257 pace. And he moved the 7 over.
That actually moved over
It
2 boards.
It
moved over like 2 boards.
Over at least 2 boards. Another board, I don't think the machine would have been able to pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no doubt in that cover, but
225.
95. Yeah, this is a game.
50, 230, possible 230. If he strikes out, he shuts Jeff out. So
he needs a double.
Yeah,
He needs
a
a
double. A double will shut Jeff out.
Yep.
Oh, he carried the high one. That was.
So he basically gets a mark. He gets a mark. He wins.
A strike is a win.
Even if
he strikes here.
Even if he gets a strike, it's a win. Or a spare. That's what I'm saying. He can actually
we
leave
could end
a
up
pin.
in a tie if
No.
he spares.
Now he covers this. He's got him beat. He can only get 225.
Yeah, he just needs one pin.
He you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was
He'll
quite
cover
the match.
this up, but he's got to go off the sheet yet still to make that even a possibility. And there's your champion right there.
Yep.
I can't hug you. Congrats, man. How you doing, buddy?
You know, I'd like
Jeff ran into a buzzsaw here, and
Well,
it is what it is. He bowled well, and you know.
I would like to see him strike out and just make it a one-pin match.
Yeah, that'd be great, and he probably will do this.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's hard to beat Brian on a half butt day. Do you know what I mean? He's a good bowler. There you go. The 7-pin that slid over in the 9th frame, that was, you know, Brian should have had that then, you know, but not taking anything away here.
Nope, not at all.
Dude's bowled awesome tonight.
Yep.
He's bowled well.
226 to 223. That was an excellent match. Brian Hoffman is our champion. I hope I don't mess this up for OCA Media. I'm taking my glasses off so I can read this. But there you have our tournament. And as we wrap up this year's tournament, we'd like to thank our camera operators, Ben George, Noel Paul, Ben Baker, and the staff of OCA Media. Thank you for watching the 2025 TV Bowling Tournament on OCA Media, Oregon's source for entertainment and information. That's a wrap. Thank you all.